As we sit here and we try to determine, kind of what's happening in the marketplace, kind of what's available in the marketplace, to be able to bring you kind of all the things that we need to bring you, I think that are important. And one of the things that's kind of come up, kind of week after week after week, but we've not been able to get any quantity of, is all the mint sets, particularly with all the information we have from the United States Mint, that, they're ending the Lincoln cent. The Kennedy $50. Kennedy won't be on the $50 next year, so it's kind of the end of the Type 1 Kennedy. I've heard tell that, we're going to change out the nickel, we're going to change out the dime. All of these things, we're ending all these incredible long-running denominations and favorites that the United States Mint has made, many as 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, over 100 years in the case of the Lincolns. The mint set is the set, so we always talk about proof sets. We talk about proof sets a lot. A proof set, remember, proof is not a condition but a method of manufacturing, so the coins are made differently. Those are the collector editions. But the United States Mint puts out a mint set every year as well. And the mint set, to me, is a fascinating set. Because what they do is they take the circulating coins for that year and put them into a set in uncirculated condition, mint state condition, hence the mint sets. And understand, in the mint sets, many of these coins, it's kind of the only way that you can get a lot of these coins is out of the mint sets. And as you pan across there, you see, these sets, and they're blue at the top or red at the top. Okay, so the Philadelphia mints are blue and the Denver mints are red. So every year has two packs, okay, a Philadelphia pack and a Denver minted pack, because it's all the P's and all the D's. It's not just the uncirculateds, but all the P's and all the D's. And so lots, thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of these mint sets get destroyed every year as people make complete sets of coins. As people make complete sets of coins. And some of them are destroyed at a far higher rate, like the bicentennials, kind of the early coins that are up here, 68, 69, 70, 70 particularly. This is one of the key coins that you have right there, because in 1970, the United States Mint did not release any Kennedy $50 into circulation. As a matter of fact, the only Kennedy $50 they made was the 1970 Denver minted Kennedy $50. I think it's actually this one right here, the Denver minted Kennedy $50. So for 1970, that's the only Kennedy $50, and that's the only way to get it. So none were released into circulation. So that coin alone tends to run at retail somewhere between about $65 and $100, depending on where you look at it in a retail format, just for that coin. So we were able to put together the mint sets. Now, I told you, we sit and we talk about all the sets they were doing. There was a concurrent discussion of whether we should even sell mint sets, because we generally buy mint sets, like most dealers do, to cut them open and sell them individually, particularly if you want all of the state quarters. You're going to get all the Philadelphia Mint, all the Denver Mint state quarters. All 50 Ps and all 50 Ds are going to be in here. If you want the Susan B. Anthony sets, we sell hundreds, if not thousands, of Susan B. Anthony sets. This is where you get the coins. Philadelphia Denver Mint, in the case of the Susan B. Anthony, the San Francisco Mint in that as well. And we made the determination at the end of the day that we're going to give you the opportunity to buy mint sets, much like we do. We cut them open. I would suggest leaving them just so. Now, when we show you here that we have 41 years of mint sets, so 1968 to 2008, so that's 41 years, there are only 39 sets in here. Okay, and of those sets, of course, there's individual sleeves for each one of those. And the reason is they did not make mint sets in 1982 and 1983. So there's no mint sets from 82, and so I can't include them because they don't exist. Now, in lieu of that, to some degree, we give you as a bonus the special mint sets from 1965, 1966, and 1967. The United States government didn't make any proof sets in those years, but they made these special mint sets, and it was, one mint only that you have right there. They didn't do them like this style that they started in 1968 that you have here. So we have all of these sets. So at the end of the day, it's 41s, it's 39, 40 42 sets because you get the special mint set. So you actually get 42 sets in this. So at the end of the day, you're paying about $15 a set, a little less than $15 a set. The vast majority of these have a single coin that is $15, a single coin. But here's where it gets interesting, and here's why this is something that you need to get while we can still get them, ultimately. And it's because of the decisions by the United States Mint and how that's going to affect the value of these mint sets going forward. The United States Mint decided last year that they're going to end the cent. Not just the Lincoln cent, but the cent. Every single one of these has a Philadelphia Mint and Denver Mint cent in them as well. Philadelphia Mint and Denver Mint cent in every single one of these packages as well. So you get P's and D's for every single one of these. From 68 to 2008, P's and D's. And then in the special mint sets, you get the 65, 66, and 67. And while those may double in price, that takes each one of those coins somewhere in the neighborhood of, $1 to $3 a coin. So out of that, now all of a sudden, you're over $100 plus, over $100 plus just in the cents and how much they've gone up. But the true key consideration of this in terms of value, in terms of collectability, in terms of desirability, is going to be the Kennedy half dollar. Particularly since the United States Mint just announced that they are ending the Kennedy half dollar for 2026. Kennedy is coming off the half dollar from 2025 to 2026. No Kennedy and no presidential seal on the reverse of the Kennedy. What you basically have here is the first 40 years of brilliant uncirculated Kennedys in the Type 1 design. I've already, and I went and looked, so I grabbed an old retail catalog out here to see kind of what the Kennedy half dollars were. And as I went into the Kennedy half dollars and I looked at this, coin by coin out of this, a little older catalog, coin by coin out of this, just the Kennedys in there are about $750 or so. So then I repriced them. Against current pricing since they announced that the Kennedys are no longer going to be made in the Type 1 design like you have right here, and the prices are 20 to 30% higher. So here's the bottom line. Just the Kennedy half dollars, just the Kennedy half dollars in this collection now, coin by coin, you're looking at the better part of $1,000. And that's just, taken out, put it into 2x2s or whatever, let alone in original United States Mint packaging. And I want to show you this, for instance. So here's the original. So here's they all come in these too. These are the original packages. We took them out. So here you go, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. So they're all going to come in the original United States Mint envelopes as well. So just the Kennedys at $599.95, if you cut them all out and spent the rest of them, would be absolutely a spectacular opportunity in and of itself. And I think that's really important for you to understand. So now you get to buy these. You get them all in the original packaging. The Kennedys alone are significantly more at a retail value, coin by coin, than what we're charging for the sets. Now, let's take a look at the Eisenhowers, because you're going to get the Eisenhower silver dollars in here. Now, in the mint sets, they start in 73, but you get Philadelphia Mint and Denver Mint for 73, 74, the two bicentennials, 75 and 76, 77 and 78. So now, let me look these up, because those haven't changed that much, because those ended in 78, right? Those ended in 78. So if we take a look at just the Eisenhowers for that, I can grab those real quick. Here you go. So the 73 Eisenhowers, in circulated condition, okay? 73 that you're going to have right there, 27 and 30, 13, 14, $15. So they're going to run about $16 a coin. And you're going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of those. at $16 a coin. That's another $200 just for the Eisenhowers. Now let's go ahead and add in, while we're at it, the Susan B. Anthony dollars. And of course, those are going to run about $15 a coin. About 15, actually, yeah, I'm going to call it $15 a coin. That undervalues them. 79, 80, and 81 is PD and S. That's 45. That's another $130 there in Susan B. Anthony's on a coin-by-coin basis. So now you're up to over $300 for the dollars in there. Let's not forget, you get all of the first 9 years of the Sacagawea golden dollars that are in here, and those Sacagawea golden dollars, 2000 to 2008, I got right here, are going to average $11 a coin. Okay, $11 a coin. So that's $22 a set times those 9 sets. So, you know, there's another $200. And then let's not forget, you get the first 2 years of the presidential dollars. So now the dollar coins in here. So now the dollars, so the Kennedys are about 1,000. The dollar coins in here on a coin-by-coin basis are now, you're looking at the better part of $700 for that. So now you're up to $1,700. You're up to $1,700 for $599.95. Now look at all the Philadelphia and Denver minted state quarters. And then all the quarters going back all the way. So the quarters are going to be another $400. The pennies are probably about $250 or $300. The nickels, the same, because if you go down and look at the 2004s and 2005s, you got those special nickel sets as well that are going to be in there. So here's what it ultimately comes down to. Coin by coin, is you're looking at probably, I'm going to say, about $2,500 at retail, coin by coin. Yet we are giving you the opportunity to be able to get these. Where are the 2004s and 5s? Oh yeah, those are specialty. They don't even have, there they are. I mean, those are going to run, they run about $3 a coin, just for the 2004 and 5 nickels. Okay, and you're going to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, those are $50 in nickels in 2 years. $50 in nickels in 2 years, and all the nickels are going to average, you know, $1, $2 a piece all the way through. So like I said, coin by coin, we're looking at about $2,500. Currently, we're looking at about $2,500 as we stand today. And understand, literally, these get cut open every day as people sell mint sets and proof sets. Every one of these coins is in the original government packaging in original, brilliant, uncirculated condition. So like I said, $2,500 for basically $599. Now, here's the key, and here's why you have to act right here, right now. Obviously, from a value standpoint, it's kind of self-evident. You're saving almost $2,000. You're saving almost $2,000 on a coin-by-coin basis. But here's where it gets crazy. So we know about the cents, that they're ending the penny, and that you get all of these that are going to have incredibly a more desirable effect since they've ended the cent. The Kennedy half dollar, we found out that they're ending the Kennedy half dollar. That obviously adds significantly to the value. I've seen 25 to 30% increases in the Kennedy half dollar, since now everybody's going to want those type 1 Kennedy half dollar sets because they're now complete, 1964 to 2025. And so everybody's going to get them. And how are you going to get those Philadelphia and Denver minted coins out of mint sets? It's the only reliable way to get these coins. But here's the insider info, folks. You've heard me talking about the nickels. I think they're going to change the design on the nickel. I know they are for 2026, and I think that might be permanent. I've heard tell that perhaps, I mean, you understand, as we go into 2026, that's the semi-quincentennial, the 250th anniversary. They're going to, new designs, I've already showed, like the new designs of the dime, new designs for the nickel, for 2026, for the semi-quincentennial. I think that's going to be it. I think they're going to totally redesign the dime for 2027. I think they're going to either redesign the nickel or end the nickel in 2027. And now you have an opportunity before they announce that. Remember, I talked about the Kennedy going up 25, 30% once they made that announcement. Well, what if they change the nickel? What if they change the dime? I know they're changing the Sacagawea golden dollar. I know they're changing the Sacagawea golden dollar, and this is the first 9 years of the Sacagawea golden dollar, so you know that's going to be, so those are $2, $3 a piece. Well, if you go back to the Susan B. Anthony's, those are $15 a piece. once they ended the series? What if all the Sacagaweas go up to $15 because they've ended the series and everybody wants to go back and then get the complete set of Sacagaweas in Philadelphia and Denver Mint? That is the way you do that. The presidential dollars all of a sudden are selling for maximum premiums as well. What if they continue to change the quarter and do different designs on the quarter? And I know for a fact they are. Well, these are all the state quarters. Philadelphia Mint and Denver Mint, gem brilliant uncirculated. You get all 50 Ps and all 50 Ds. And if you look at those in the catalog, just the quarters in there, what do they run? They got to run $2 a piece. Let's see, just for those. So coin by coin, you know, when I said 2,500, I think I undervalued that just a bit. I got to be honest, I think I undervalued that just a little bit with that. I think we're probably closer coin by coin at retail. Because, yeah, actually, I'm looking at all the quarters out of here. They're more like $4 a piece. $4 for the piece. So there's $400 worth of state quarters on a coin-by-coin basis. I think we're much closer to $3,000 than we are to $2,500. And so now, same thing, $599, all in the original government packaging. So it's an incredible value proposition, but that is before that we get any information. They're changing or ending the nickel. Now, I think they're certainly going to change the dime. I think they're absolutely changing the nickel and maybe even ending the nickel. The Sacagawea golden dollar going away. We are having new quarter designs. There's no more of the national parks, no more of the women's quarters. I think we're going to children's sports, youth sports is what we're going for a 4-year or 5-year cycle. So what you have is the opportunity to have a complete set of all the Philadelphia Mint, all the Denver Mint from 1965 through 2008, all in the original government packaging, all with the original government boxes and paperwork and everything else. So everything in here is gem, brilliant, uncirculated. All of these coin sets that have been around for our entire lives, are ending, okay? And designs changing. Particularly, I think, just for the Kennedy half dollar. This is something you pick up the phone and get in right now because my quantities are phenomenally limited. Just for the Kennedy half dollars, $599.95 is a spectacular price. All the Philadelphia Mints and all the Denver Mints from 1965 to 2008. The Kennedys as a standalone is a pick up the phone and get it right now. Add in the Eisenhowers, add in the Susan B's, add into the presidential dollars, add in the Sacks. Now that almost doubles the value right there with all the quarters. And then they're ending the Lincoln cent. You get all the Lincoln cents in here as well. Understand what the value is. I think in today's current market, coin by coin, every one of these gem brilliant uncirculated coins, you're looking at close to $3,000 in value. Now, based on that, and like I said, we had that conversation. Do we just want to keep these, open them up, and basically sell them for $3,000? And we said, we have done these mint sets in the past. We're going to give you an opportunity, even with all this additional information, to be able to get these in the original government packaging for basically what just the Kennedy half dollars would be. But you get all the pennies, all the nickels, all the dimes, all the quarters, all the dollars. You get all of those coins as well. But these quantities are clearly limited because every single solitary one of them is a sold-out limited edition. And obviously prices are going to be affected as other people find out about the pennies and the half dollars. And then the government releases information on the nickels and the dimes and the other dollars. All of that is going to drive value, drive these in incredible shortages. So now is the time for you to pick these up and literally buy these like a coin dealer for, in essence, just the price of the Kennedy half dollars. You get all of them, all gem brilliant uncirculated, all in the original government packaging. Remember, quantities are phenomenally limited because every one of these has been sold out for literally a quarter of a century. Got to pick up the phone and put these in your collection today.